All right. Well, the ET8 ran really well after I got all those parts, got to put back together. The whole time I ran it today, I did not open the carburetor at all, or hardly at all, because it runs so hot. I definitely had it full of coolant, well, water in the hopper. I don't know if you can see it steaming in some of the videos. I dumped most of the water out now, so it's definitely steaming the last bit of water out as it cools off. And I'm making sure that I get plenty of oil down in the cylinder so that as it cools it will settle in around into the rings and lubricate everything properly. I did not think of this, but I'm gonna check these main bearing caps. They are still tight, so that's good. Make sure we dab extra oil on all of those, because while it's warm it can run into the bearing, and then when it cools it will set in there. So the ET8 runs pretty slick now. I am, a little disappointed that the original manual didn't include a very big warning about not starting it with the throttle open. In fact, like I said, I ran it today with the throttle completely closed the whole time, and that's running a lot faster than I actually think is particularly comfortable for these, but it seems to be okay. So it is a slick little engine, just you have to keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't go over speed and lock up. It might be useful for a little project where it's under quite a bit of load, because then you might be able to open it up and get more power of it, but it's a slick little engine. I'm glad I got it put back together properly. And the EM1 ran really nicely today. So let's see, the ET8 here, after I got the needle adjusted properly, ran for about half an hour on a tank of fuel, which is pretty good. I thought it would go through fuel a bit faster than the other engines just because it fires on every stroke. The valves also seem to have seated themselves in now much better. So like while it was running, I felt a little bit at the intake and there was no blowback into the intake like when I had first started it. So I'm not going to worry about reseating those valves. I think they're doing just fine now. And then the EM1 ran for half an hour on its tank of fuel as well. So that's a good run for both of these engines. And like I said, I'm real excited that the ET8 here is in one piece again and running really well. It's of course too bad that it had issues, but it got corrected, and it was all taken care of. So that's real nice, and it's a good addition if it's the kind of engine that you would like to have to play with.